In a narrow alley of an old river town lived a clockmaker named Ruenn. His shop was small, barely enough space for a workbench, a kettle, and a few shelves of brass gears that glinted like captive suns. Ruenn repaired clocks for fishermen, merchants, travellers, and children who ran in breathless with broken toys. His work was simple, his life was quiet, and he was content. Until one spring morning, when a rumour drifted through the town. A master horologist had arrived from the capital, a man whose clocks were said to count not seconds, but destinies. Crowds flocked to his grand workshop at the edge of the harbour. His clocks towered like metal trees, ticking with a rhythm too perfect to feel human. People whispered that his machines could measure fortune, reveal luck, even predict the hour of great opportunity. Ruenn watched from across the street, his hands folded behind his back. A small ache stirred under his ribs. What am I doing, mending old clocks, when the world now runs on marvels? For the first time, he felt his shop shrink around him. He noticed every crack in the walls, every humble tool, every hour slipping by unnoticed. One night, with envy whispering in his ear, Ruenn crossed the street to watch the master work. The workshop glowed with unnatural brilliance. Gears turned themselves. Hands moved without hands. Ruenn stood frozen, dazzled by power he did not understand. The master glanced at him. "You admire my clocks?" Ruenn nodded. "I wish I could build something like this." The master smiled thinly. "Then borrow an hour from my machines. Bring it to your workshop. You'll see the difference." He handed Ruenn a glass orb, inside which floated a single golden hour, bright, pulsing, alive. "Use it well," the master said, "but return it by dawn." Ruenn hurried home. He placed the orb beside his tools and began working on a clock he had struggled with for days. Time itself seemed to slow around him. His hands steadied. His thoughts sharpened. Every gear fit perfectly. Every tick was flawless. By midnight, the clock shone like it contained its own heartbeat. Ruenn stared at his work in disbelief. So this is what greatness feels like. But when he turned to admire it again, the clock had stopped. Completely. Its gears were locked, fused, lifeless, as if the borrowed hour had drained the soul from it the moment it ended. Ruenn tried to fix it. The more he worked, the worse it became. By dawn, his masterpiece was nothing more than a pile of silent metal. Ashamed, he returned the orb. The master horologist took one look at the broken clock and laughed softly. "You wanted my brilliance," he said, "but brilliance borrowed is brilliance lost. A clock runs only on the time it is built from. Yours or mine, never both." Ruenn walked home slowly, dawn settling on the rooftops. He passed his humble shop. He passed a fisherman who trusted him. He passed a child clutching a broken pocket watch, waiting at his door. Something inside him eased. He knelt beside the child, opened the tiny watch, and repaired it with careful, tender hands. No borrowed hours, no dazzling machines, just him, steady, present, honest. Word spread quietly through the town. People still visited the master's workshop for wonders, but they came to Ruenn when they wanted something to last. Years later, after the master horologist moved on, seeking greater fame, Ruenn's shop still stood where it always had, small, warm, filled with clocks that ticked with human time. Time that tasted of effort. Time that carried fingerprints. Time that belonged to him alone. In the end, Ruenn learned that the hours we borrow vanish, but the hours we shape, patiently and imperfectly, become our life. This is a tale from the quiet mirror, and its reflection is yours.